the branding had to be done in a manner where at least, and it had to be individual. It's not an organization and anything. Because there are lots of organizations which get created. I said, let's keep it as an individual doing things, get in
Yeah.
more individuals who then do it as individuals. So we have a face at every point of time. It's not good people hiding themselves behind that name of an organization and all. So
Right.
that's why it's Mediator Vikram, but please always Vikram. The Vikram is the one. So
Correct.
Sakib is here. Sakib,
Hi, Saki.
hi.
Hi, hi, Vikram.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Look, what I'm going to do is, Martin, before we get you in and you introduce yourself, let me just put out a little bit about the World Mediation Circle and generally where people can find information. Because
Right.
now the whole focus is on grassroots activity, creating circles. So this whole social media posts and everything, for me now, it's not going to be so many of those going out. So rather, how do people find information? So mediatorvikram.com, that's where
Yeah.
you go. So normally the latest event that's happening, like this one today, what we're doing, will be the first picture there. And then, of course, today we are launching the Artificial Intelligence Mediation Circle. I feel that's a very important aspect, and
Yeah.
you, Martin, is bringing in a certain aspect, and I'm looking at it from also. We have similar thoughts. There might be some.
Yeah.
We might also have different aspects of how we are taking it forward,
For
and of
sure.
course, connecting lots of options. The World Mediation Circle, I think let people read it from there, but this is a worldwide web of mediation circles. So we're going to be creating them in schools, colleges, communities, issue-based, all those to bring a moral values, principles, and ethics-based humanistic approach to dispute resolution, where heart, soul, spirituality play an important role. So then, why artificial intelligence when we are talking about heart, soul, spirituality? And that's the difference that I'm trying to create. That here we have training programs, programming people to become mediators. I think machines can do a better job of that, and that also maybe if Martin is going to take us through, or we'll we'll actually have a demonstration there. So that's going to happen. And if you want to be part of the World Mediation Circle, there's a click. You can click here for a form. That's how it is. Lots of mediation circles have been created. I'll take you through that. All the events and all that happen. We have this one is 2021 and we have 2023, then we are 22, 21 there. So you can find information how to connect. I think the idea I've put out various things that you can find things to connect. So all that is here. And then of course, we have Ken Cloak, a whole section of all the, I think, 29 sessions events that he's been part of. But that by itself is I think it's an important thing for people to watch because to get time. This is all that's happened this year, Martin. All that has happened
Wow.
here. That's happened this year. Lots of various programs and shows. I'm doing it very fast because I don't want to take your time on this because all this information is here. But Ken Cloak,
Yeah.
yes, that's important because people pay hundreds of dollars to attend his sessions, and he's been so nice to do it for us and to have all that wisdom out there. Please watch those.
It's been an
And
amazing sponsor for us for years.
yes, and we are going to use it, which Martin is going to tell us how that's going to happen. And then support, become a patron. Some funding is required. Not people are not becoming patrons at all, which I was just telling Martin, but Martin's been very nice
Yeah.
to be a patron, so that's really nice. And all the other information is here. So that's it here. Not it's still not it, but I want there's one more slide show. But Sonia is here. We can say hi to Sonia. Hi, Sonia.
Hi to
Thanks.
everyone.
Thanks for
So
joining.
Good
Sonia,
afternoon. Here
good.
in Italy, it's afternoon.
So now there's no concept of good morning, good afternoon. We don't know which time zone people are in. So it's always hi, ciao,
Ciao.
namaste, namaste. So what I'm going to do is just give you one more, maybe 2 minutes to just go through what circles have already been launched. So of course,
Yeah.
this is the World Mediation Circle, the larger whole, and all mediation
Yeah.
circles being part of that. Then the we launched the India Mediation Circle. Then
Right.
we did the World Indigenous Peoples Mediation Circle.
Yeah.
These all be launched. So International Reflective Practice Circle, there'll be reflective practice groups made as part of every circle. So
Yeah.
that's going to happen. Michael Lang's been so nice to do that. The International Commercial Mediation Circle, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. I mean, lots of circles will be created as part of this. So each goal can have a circle and things like that. So, and then I keep saying this, so goal number 17 is something that to bring people together and the collaboration part. So mediators and mediation can play a very important role there. And then we have the World Refugee Mediation Circle, the International Organizational Mediation Circle, every organization to have a mediator. I'm saying outsourced, but we are going to create capacity within the organizations. That's the whole idea. Identifying mediators in schools who are already there, who have the mindsets, mediators, peacemakers, bring them out, create a environment, that culture of mediation there. We're not saying, oh, we're sending some mediators in. No, you have them all there. Just value them, bring them out. So all that is also going to happen. International Family Mediation Circle, down to every family should have one. So Sonia's family is going to have this Riva Family Mediation Circle or whatever it's going to be called. So every family should have one. And then we have this game that Massimiliano has created. In the launch, we've gone through those. It's like he calls it a board game. I call it the resolution game. So it's a steps by which I think in AI in relation to what Martin was also going to tell us, we'll have similar kind of concept developed there so that we have those steps and people can actually experience resolution. So it's this whole concept of teaching people. No, experience it and you learn everything from there. So that all the launches and everything, all the videos are there on YouTube. Please watch them. So Global School Mediation Circle and Global College Mediation Circle. Yesterday we launched for a college in Delhi. So that please watch that. So it's really nice to see students getting together to create this circle. And as we go along, we'll see how they are going to develop it. And I told them, you create a model and then that model can then be replicated in all colleges. And get people involved. So that's happening. And all these various environmental, climate change, natural disasters, sustainability mediation. So Ken Cloak launched these, all the various, where you see picture wherever it is there. So he's launched it. Please watch those videos. Then we did the Israeli-Palestine Mediation Circle. The next assembly of the circle is happening on the 12th. So people who are watching and have this link, please, same Zoom link, please come in. Idea is to talk about various viewpoints, perspectives, thoughts, everything. Let's bring everything together. But ultimately, it's all again grassroots, that it happens in communities where the right people come in for those conversations. So a more objective view happen. Then this is Barbados Mediation Circle. So that's happened there. And then we had yesterday what I told you, that college, Jamia Hamdard, they call it the Sule Circle, which is nice because I've always said that we're not tied to the word mediation. Whatever word that people connect with, please use that word. And then we have what we are doing today. So Martin's here. So now Martin's all about you, and then how we are going to be using AI. My thoughts on it will also come there because I have some thoughts on how we're going to use it. So please, Martin, a little bit about yourself, and then let's.
Can I do a bit of a pushback to start with? Vikram, can you tell us why you called it artificial intelligence mediation circle?
Look, I feel that there are various aspects to the artificial intelligence and that how we are going to be using that. So first, which enough people have heard me and don't like me for that, you can't train people to be mediators. You can't make mediators in 40-hour factories. It's just not fair to even say that for mediators because lots goes into being what they are. And that's why the first series that I started, Evolution of a Mediator, what all a person goes through, and that first thing was with Ken and his growing up and the value system that he brought up, grew up in, and his experiences, circumstances, everything makes him what he is. So now, if that is, and again, for me, these mediation circles is that humanistic approach. Now you're talking about humanistic approach on one end and artificial intelligence on the other. Why? Because people have today access to ChatGPT. So we have an access to a first responder. People don't, as society developed, those communities have missed out on those people with wisdom whom they could go to. So up till we identify them and bring them out, create those circles around them, what do we do? So it has to be I don't want to call it a gap that we are filling up only. This can be an important area also, and those people can also play an important role. We'll see how it works as we go along. But the point is that you have someone to go to. I'm still calling that Chat GPT someone. So you have someone to immediately access. I've done on my earlier events in the World Mediators Conference, an actual situation where people spoke about a dispute and we took ChatGPT through it and the process and even generating options. So we already have access to that. Why not give people access to something which has access to so much content from around the world, the best in the world in relation to conflict resolution and otherwise. So you have something to use immediately. And uh, in terms of what we are going to be talking about also, how, say, a person like Ken Cloak, whatever he has put out there, whether that content can be accessed and how that can be accessed and how people can use it. Can I have a person like that as a mediator? Can we reach that level and how that interaction happens? So lots that can be done in terms of this training, as people use it, which I call skill development. There is enough content out there which they can use, and they can actually create a training manual. They have topics, and each topic they can whatever they want to further read about, the chat GPT can generate more content on each topic, and you can keep picking up information, because there is a limited concept of mediation which is going out even in those training things which I have spoken about. I mean, one word, neutrality. That neutrality is 40 hours at least. 40 hours of just discussion on neutrality. I had a whole symposium on neutrality and mediation. But because you have 40 hours and you say, I want to make a mediator in 40 hours, say, oh, you have to be neutral. Oh, and Martin says neutral advocate. So, advocate, yes. But in terms of media, I'm Mohammed. So, so you have that one word goes out, and then you say that, yes, you just take this word and now go out into the world and say mediator has to be neutral. But no, each of those need discussion. So you have access to the we calling it artificial intelligence. I'm still saying a person for a moment. So you have access to a person who can give you more information on that, and you can debate with that person. You can. I have debated with it on neutrality also, so I do that. So okay, so lots of that. So training, as we call it, no, let's call it skill development. So we have that option. The Chat GPT being a mediator itself available.
Yeah.
So we have lots of that. So that's why the artificial intelligence part of it. So yes.
No, thank you. That's a good answer. It's great that you had tried some experiments with it as well, had used it for particular mediations, and it's I don't plan to come to launch this group to give you a sort of an outline of what I think AI should be in mediation. I want it really much to be a facilitated conversation, and for us to all have opinions and develop these capabilities to deliver to media community and maybe the world generally. What this combination of the knowledge that we have around mediation, the processes and practices, and combine that with the what's already available within ChatGPT and the large language models, and find some sort of nuanced way to move it forward. And I think, I really think we're thinking about very practical steps that we've been doing to integrate those two conversations on one side and ChatGPT on the other side. So I think I'd like to sort of start with a bit of an agenda and sort of talk it through. So can I share my screen?
Yeah, please. So basically, Martin has an agenda. And
I'm getting teased for my agenda.
And I was telling him that here we have someone who does this whole unstructured thing. So that's why it's good to have someone who has an agenda.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I've been a consultant most of my life, so it's difficult not to default back into those things. So I'm hoping that what we can do today is sort of connect as a AI mediation circle as part of your revolution, resolution revolution, and we can launch the AI mediation circle. How far along this path we go is just, it's up to us really. But we'd like to explore AI mediation, some circle goals. I don't think we'll get to the actions yet. And then the rest of the items will be done in later sessions of the group. sort of defining, agreeing on the goals, agreeing a set of actions, forming teams, building plans, and starting experimenting. And we've launched a site called kengpt.janus.com based on Vikram's suggestion of a name. So, oh, that's the wrong way.
But we will expand that, Martin, to make it Mediator Vikram GPT as we go along.
So this was my agenda. So I wanted to share a little bit about my journey to mediation. And so I was going to use, I can make it, sorry, I need to. So this is our website at Janus. It's sort of our journey. So my background has been in IT, and I found a lot of conflict in IT, generally around the contracts. Did a lot of programs, but I was always focused on collaboration. And after a couple of decades, I just felt it was just so much effort to get anything to happen at different time in different organizations. And so I went off and studied conflict resolution at university here in Toronto. After a couple of years, I qualified as a mediator, and I launched Neutral Advocate to build a resolution into business processes. And so that was sort of, I think what I got out of that was the flow of conversation was really so powerful, the ability to ask questions. And I just sort of blew my mind that people had been, in a state of pain for a couple of years, and then when they were coming to mediation and they were able to resolve their differences, not completely, but get a solution so they could move forward in half an hour to a couple of hours. And it was just mind-blowing to me that could happen. And so I just saw the power of that process. So then I started wanting to bring revolution to organizations. I started, in the organizations where I was working in IT, really, it's all about agile and collaborative system, and that's really powerful. But so I was trying to bring interest-based resolution to that environment, and what I found is I ended up focusing on agility a lot more, which was this sort of next part of the journey that I had, which was related to structure, conversational flow, and sort of people's consciousness. So we did a lot about different leaders who had brought resolution systems to the organization, but they called it different things. They didn't necessarily. And the big one that I eventually found was the adaptive leadership, and that's similar to group Ronald Heidwitz, a similar group to the Robert Fisher and William Ury in the sort of same camp, but this was mediation across organizations and leadership, mediating as an adaptive leadership coach. So that what we learned from that was that change really starts from within, and it starts with the leaders and the teams looking at doing introspection and looking at how to going through a transformation system. Again, all really about resolution, but very, very differently sort of focused in different sets of words. So during that time, we've been building a conversational platform so that we could use the power of questions, any set of questions, any flow that you want to, so you can structure a conversation, interest-based. It was all originally based around interest-based negotiation. And what we've built out recently is being able to build into that the ChatGPT knowledge. And so having and I'll go into this a little bit more detail, being able to have a conversation, leverage that data from that conversation to help people move forward using the context of the knowledge that's in place. That was the idea. And then we sort of developed for organization this idea of co-evolution. We call it co-volute, and very much part of this revolution, interest-based, and it sort of combines the interest-based stuff with sensing and presencing from Theory U, identity from Daniel Sapiro and his 5 pillars, with a 4-quadrant change from integral theory. And so the whole message is that change starts with me. So that's sort of the journey. And we sort of try to tell this story of a change journey that we have in the workshops here, where we sort of talk about a leader and embracing a fundamental shift in mindset and leadership, and then holding quality conversations for meaningful conversations, and then engaging in this collaborative model of having effective conversations, and then unlocking the potential of meaningful conversations and change. And you can see here, the adaptive leadership stuff coming through. So what we have, this is the flow for the conversation, the conversational flow that we'd like to have as part of this AI mediation group. But the key capabilities that the tools have that integrate the AI is a collective engagement, so we can have collaborative conversations, we can have an engaged dialogue, and then we can integrate AI into that process, and that's what we'll sort of talk about. So the core agenda, I was hoping, it doesn't matter how far we get today, is to sort of get people's first thoughts on AI and mediation, and then sort of start to capture those thoughts, and then bring AI into it, and then build out what's important for us and potentially get to some goals. And I think that's all I'll start with. So let me just do a quick demonstration here. Okay. So has anyone got any questions from what I've talked about? Like, what do you think about conflict and mediation and conversations? Do you see it mainly being about conversations, or do you see it like do you live it as a process? What are some of your thoughts?
Let's get each person in. So who's gonna come in? Sonia, are you coming in? Should I stop the share screen if you are okay?
Yeah, I'll stop the share screen. Yeah, thanks.
Sonia, any comment? You also going to come in, Mohammed. You're also going to come in. Everyone's going to come in.
Sorry, I have to leave in a few minutes. I think it's I'm not sure to have understood all you said, but I think it's an interesting way to use artificial intelligence. I think it's a very interesting topic. So I will listen to you to understand particularly what you can do with this system to solve conflicts. In which way ChatGPT can answer to these questions about conflicts?
Right.
Today Sonia is going to do that. She's going to go to ChatGPT and actually use it and actually ask it to resolve something that you have in mind, you please do it. Because what Martin is doing is using ChatGPT plus also has created certain things of his own on that. So that's additional aspect of it. But you have pure ChatGPT available to you also at all points of time. You can ask it questions. If there is a dispute, put it out, ask it to be a mediator. You are the mediator between Sonia and Alex. Then what is it'll take you through the process. You can ask it to take you through the process, and it'll actually take you through the process and ask you questions. And then as you go along, you can put in whatever data. It'll actually give you certain resolution options and all that. Lots of things. It's all available right now, all to everyone in the world. That's why I did this was why the artificial intelligence. Everyone in the world has an access to a mediator. And that is where the important aspect lies, that if you first can go to something which is in your house on your phone, why don't you at least start the process? Something like that. And of course, as we go along, Martin is going to take us through this thing also.
So tell me, what's been your experience, Vikram, when you've done that?
Look, this is a recorded session, so it's something that you can actually see that it's, I mean, it's really nice because, of course, we were doing it, we just picked it up at that time and they thought of some issue. Mohammed was part of that session also. So it was, Mohammed will tell us his experience. Mohammed, please tell us what your experience of that session was.
Okay, thank you very much, Martin, for this expose, and then just you bring us to the new reality of the introduction of AI in our job, if I can say that. Yeah, we already discussed the issue a few months, I think, ago, and then the discussion was about the AI, was that it's a fear of an opportunity, and now it's coming a reality.
Yeah.
And then I think we have to deal with it. It's no longer a fad problem, but it's a reality that we have to manage it. And then what I understood from your expose, very brief expose, it's we're preparing people for a new change in our day-to-day work.
Yes. And
then we have to be prepared to succeed in that change, to use that opportunity or this technology or this tool. At that time I was calling it a tool, but now it's becoming a technology which is bringing us a lot of things. So we have it's a technology, we have to take it as such, and then we have to take advantage of it. Yes, and then we'll see what are the conditions, what are the limitations and the restrictions, and so on. So
what's been your experience of using it for a dispute so far?
Oh, my experience is new. The best experience I had is that scenario that we have had with Vikram, and then we play a role between about two mediators, and then he applied on us, the GPT. And then it was very serious. I think the experience succeeded up to 5. I measured that time 75% it was true, but the 25% of the rest should come from myself or for the mediator itself. Because we never forget that this tool is based on the collection of data.
Yeah.
And then it depends how the collection of data is done, how is going to be done, and how it's been treated. And then there is something else. We have to see how you are collecting your data, which kind of data you have to collect, where the data come from, whether it's correct or not. It depends also of the type of mediation you are doing.
Yeah.
You are doing a family mediation, so you have to collect all the text of the family laws. If you are doing a private mediation, you have to collect all the text that you need to be collected from the private sector, from the private law, and so on. And then it depends. It's very, very various. And if you permit me to add something, is if you are an independent mediator, it's not the same as if you are an employee's mediator.
Right.
And the difference are a little bit different. We have to take that into account as to build some coherent principle for these introductions of AA in the mediation job.
Yeah.
But Martin, before you
But
come in,
I want to, sorry.
yeah, no, before you come in, I was just saying, I just wanted to say hi to Alex, seeing her after a long time. So, hi, Alex. How are you?
Hi,
Hi,
fine.
Alex.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Hi,
I'm
Alex.
sorry I missed your presentation, Martin. It's very unfortunate. It was interesting, and I really thought it was tomorrow. So, totally.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's nice of you to come in.
It's
No, all these, I think, yeah, the details went out just went out today itself, Martin, because there were some functions that I was busy with, so it didn't go out. So all of them were so nice to come in. They got the invitation today only. But
Yeah.
thank you, Alex, for coming. Yes, Martin, all yours.
So does anyone else have any comments from the presentation? I'd love to talk about the data collection question that Mohammed raised.
Yeah. We will get Mandy in later. Mandy definitely has questions, but we'll get her in later when she reaches where she has to go. Yes, Mandy? We'll get you.
I'm available. I don't have problem in driving and speaking and
We have a
listening to
problem.
the-
Mandy, we have a problem. You don't get into an accident. So drive properly. When you get there, we'll get you in.
Thank you for caring. Thank you very much, Vikram.
And also caring for the other guy you might knock off the road.
I'll be in a point in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I will talk to you there, not have you stressed.
Look in front, Mandy. Look at the front. While you're driving, look into the screen.
Saqib works with me.
I've stopped the car. Don't worry. I've stopped the car.
Okay, we'll get you. We'll get you in when you reach where you are getting there. Yeah.
So Saqib works with me. He's our product manager. Saqib, did you have any perspectives you wanted to share?
Not right now, Martin. We'll just try to continue.
Yeah, okay. So let me take Mohammed's point about, let me share my screen again. There's this diagram, I hope, let me just put it into presentation mode. This diagram, it aims to sort of explain what we're thinking about knowledge and how to integrate the different perspectives on, nuance. Employment is different to independent mediation, and there's family, and then there's organizational, and there's employee, recruitment disputes, that sort of thing. So this is what we've built into it. So you can have a traditional conversation like similar to what you're having in ChatGPT today within Janus, and it is slightly different in the sense that it's we're taking the data out of here and refining and putting back only the data back to GPT that is relevant for that particular question that you're now asking. So it's like a more refined way of questioning ChatGPT than ChatGPT you'll find on thing. And what we'd do is we take those ideas, those things, and we store them in a temporary query. And what that means is that we can also combine it with, so you've been having a conversation and you've answered all of these questions and answers over here, and that can go into the query as well. So you're combining both the conversation that you're having with ChatGPT, the conversation you're having as a group, right? And you're combining those two things, and ChatGPT is now answering in context to your broader conversation, as well as just the conversation you're having with ChatGPT. And then the experiment that we've just done is we put Ken Cloak's mediation training book of like 250 pages, 280 pages into into Jana's as part of this answer set here. And so we'll experiment with this part, which is what we have today. The bit that we're working on, which is all in this blue stuff, is to be able to store books or sets of data or continue. So we've done a mediation and we want to store it because we want to use it for next time. We want to have that knowledge available. So this is where we'll store all of the the interplay data, the best practices on mediation, specialist data on organizational mediation or family mediation, and we can store a lot of data in here that then it gets used as part of the query. Does this make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So instead of it's a fairly technical diagram, but the reason it's important to understand is because you've got these three aspects. You've got the conversation with ChatGPT, you've got your conversation you're having with people, and then you've got your knowledge set. And we combine, ChatGPT is able to with the additional technology, can bring all of that together in a powerful way. And the difference from a user perspective is it's got the nuance, it's got the implication. So it may be a little bit more than 75% because you've added that specific knowledge to it and you've trained it for that knowledge. Any thoughts or questions on this?
No, perfect. I think that as we build that up, all that I was saying, all the transcripts of our videos and everything, can we go there? Lots can come out from there. But we'll also do a pure ChatGPT version also after this. We'll go there and what I did when Mohammed was part of that session, we actually took in a problem and went through the process there. Let's try that also. We'll do that also, so that at least that is available to everyone to access immediately. So they have. Let's see how that works.
Yeah, that is a good point. This may not be as available to everybody immediately. Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking the next thing we could do is we could play around with doing such a query. Would that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll try both. We'll try your system and we'll also try the ChatGPT Pure.
Yeah, for sure.
What I'll do is while you're doing it here, I'll keep entering it there. Then I'll share the screen when the entire thing is done, and let's see how ChatGPT.
That's great. So we've got this book here, 230 pages of it, and that's been entered into here. So
here, okay.
So it's the center of dispute resolution, mediation training. So what would be some questions that you would want to ask it?
Yes, Alex. Nothing. Alex, she's okay with it. Mohammed, any specific question that you want to ask in relation to mediation? I have to specify that, otherwise we can have all kinds of questions coming in.
No. Thank you very much, Martin, for these explanations. Okay, but you explained to us all the technical part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm sorry because I have in my mind the whole process because fortunately I'm working on the same topic for the United Nations. My team. I'm in a network of the United Nations because I am mediator for the United Nations. So we are working globally on the whole things. The technical part, and then all the political problems, the ethical problems. So yeah, sorry if I am not in the same, but I'm just wondering whether it's this is the technical part as I understood, and then in that presentation, where is the political problem, the ethical problem, or we are just continuing as a technique and then we are advancing and then we will see.
Well, just what you do is but
the idea for this session was to have everybody put in those ideas. I said that at the beginning, I don't want to present to you what I think all the ethical dilemmas or the solutions or the things. I want to bring us to the table to sort of start talking about it, and this is what this part was. And maybe it's not going fast enough in terms of speed, but that was where I was going.
Okay. Thank you.
But Mohammed, anything, a question that you want to ask in relation to dispute resolution? There's something that's in your mind, just.
Yeah, that's why I'm just taking the opportunity to talk to discuss, and then. But thank you very much for the explanation.
No. So can you tell us what the context of the question is, and then let's apply it to. Yeah.
No, I think when you have a new technology to add, and then you see, because this technology is little bit far from being completely particular and different from the others, and then people are afraid of the future and afraid of losing their job, afraid of not delivering as it should be, because there is an interactions and interference between the tools and the human being input. So that's that people are thinking about every day we are talking about that tool. Okay, you have some question about that kind of things?
So will AI replace mediators? Is that what you're?
So that
is that a very, very basic summary? Can you be a bit more nuanced than?
What are the apprehensions, Mohammed? What is your apprehension? Why do you feel? What is your any apprehension using it?
I think okay, Vikram. I think isn't when I did my small presentation at the beginning. You were so enthusiastic for implying this to make the mediations well known in the world. I said it's okay, good. Now we come back to reality and then see what are the problem that we're going to face by using these kind of things, because it concerns the output of the human being in such within such a tool. And then I am with certain mediator. Okay, I am okay. I changed. I'm going and following. The evolution of the things. But there are some people, maybe they are not aware even for this tool, and then they are so reluctant, to get in, because they are putting forward, okay, all the problem, all the competition between the machine or the technology and man, and whether the result will be the correct result, and so on. And then there are many questions yet, at least in my domain. I don't know how are things with other colleagues, but I'm just talking about my experience in my domain.
No, Mohammed, we put those questions out because what has happened is that artificial intelligence, ChatGPT itself, is progressing very fast. So if you had a discussion 1 month back, things might have changed in relation to ChatGPT itself. So it's evolving very fast. And when my concept is based on the larger global thing, that can we give people access to something which can help them resolve conflicts, disputes, as a first responder. Let's look at the first responder aspect of it. If they experience resolution through even a machine, the whole concept of, yes, we want to resolve something, get a certain direction to resolution, anything can help. So do we have apprehensions on, the machine is going to do something in relation to, in some way, destroying something? Is it going to, do we have apprehensions there? Or because people are at all points of time even looking at social media and picking up information from there, not good sometimes, but it is still happening. So why do we have this apprehension about this ChatGPT and using it for conflict resolution? Let's understand that, because look, there are going to be early adopters, there are going to be people with apprehensions and issues which they have. That's going to happen with anything that comes in. But here we are, people who would feel that can we have some technology available for people in general to reach a point, and then yes, the concept of this humanistic approach to the dispute resolution and bringing in the person, that aspect definitely is what I'm also trying to develop. But it is something that's going to be slow. It's going to be identifying the right people, bring them out. Today, the programming of people, which is being done as to making you a mediator in 40-hour factories, I have something available to tell people, look, there is something available to you to use. This programming of people that is happening, maybe that's not giving you a good user experience, because it's again an input output thing. We had a session in the World Mediators Conference on empathy, and this Eunice was taking us through, okay, this is what you have to do, this is how you should do, this is how you should talk to someone. So you're programming people. The machine can do a better job than that, so why not let the machine do that aspect of it? When the human is required to show empathy, no, to feel empathy, to feel compassion. So that feeling part of it is where the human is required. But what is happening is programming is happening. How you have to show this, these are the steps, this is what you do. So let's let the machine do that. I mean, I'm okay with that if it can. So let's see an actual situation. Yes, Martin is doing something here.
Yeah, I did it, but we don't have anything about first responders in the mediation guide. So
yeah, that'll be very limited, because he did that in 2017. I mean, that was
yeah,
in
yeah.
2017. So we
that's
won't have. So
not
let's
a
ask
great.
ChatGPT. Let's ask ChatGPT. I'm doing it here.
Okay.
Can AI be? What was your question there?
Can AI be a first responder to help resolve conflict?
Resolving conflicts, and how?
Yeah.
If yes, how? Let's do that. Okay. Let's see what it has to say. You want me to share the screen and put it up there? Shall I do that?
Yeah, please, if you could share your screen. Yeah.
Okay, so it's very fast in what it does. So we'll have to go back to. Come on, you're very fast. Let it go up.
Yeah, I've got pretty well the same thing. Just
So this is the larger part of it.
okay. So I've got initial assessment. AI can quickly analyze the nature of conflict.
Should we actually go through ChatGPT first, Martin? Should
Okay.
we do something which Mandy and Alex, any issue that you want to? This is again something else. Alex, you don't want to. Mohammed and Mandy will do something. Yes, Mohammed. Alex, you want to do? So what's your plan? Just to pick up anything, you work related, something related to a project or something. We can do that, or something that Mohammed has in relation to work. Whatever you people, we can do both. What do you say? Anything specific? Mohammed, something that you have going on in your work related thing, so we can take ChatGPT through that. You're on mute.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah. No, I have nothing. You want me to play the role? I can play, but I have
something actual that you're
facing. Can I just add something, please?
Yeah.
Okay, I can go with you because I think Martin and Vikram. Okay, you are independent. You have you're the boss of yourself, and then you are okay. For other mediator in the world, because we are working to help the mediation in the world. Okay, they are part of a bureaucracy. And that bureaucracy is influencing, whether we can use that tools correctly or not. Yeah, we say yes, we can use it. And then we are just preparing how we can use it. And then that's why we have to settle the all the blockchain, if you went from the first to the end. Now I'm convinced. I'm working for that, but I have to work a lot to convince and to work and to demonstrate that it will be productive and efficient.
So
That's
how
what we're
you
doing.
so how you can look at it, Mohammed, is that you are looking at employees having a situation in your organization, in the whatever work that you're doing. It's employees. So now employees have a situation. Do they need to come to Mohammed? Can they go to ChatGPT and go through that issue themselves? Is that going to be an organizational issue? I don't think so.
And then you have to prepare them. Yeah, nobody can go to the chat because it's very, very personal things to tell to the mediator.
Yeah,
hey,
so you can't.
It's not like that. When you when you have some problem, that are very personal with your boss or your somebody else, and then okay, it's easy. You can go to the chat and you put everything. This is for the performance report. You can do everything. But what else? You have something very personal, but people are not ready yet to go and put everything on the chat. That is the question. Maybe it's a question of time.
Can I butt in, because there is security issues, right? For organizations, you can't use ChatGPT will learn from some of the data that you're using, and it's not acceptable to say, I'm at the UN and I've got these issues, and that would be a break of security. So like with I'm going back to our platform, but the platform provides us that level of security. It isn't going out to that. To ChatGPT in that way. It's all private. So, but and I don't think ChatGPT has a great capability, right, to answer questions about disputes and that sort of thing. And it's like a partner for you, and you can use it for that purpose individually. Without giving private data. But if you want to go through a formal process of having a mediation or having a conversation, I don't necessarily think that ChatGPT in its raw form is where you would get most of the value from being able to bring in AI into a formal process like a mediation. So, we're working with IT service company, and to get technology, first of all, they don't allow ChatGPT to be used by their employees, and to basically bring in this technology, it's like any other technology. You have to go through the approval processes, etc., etc. But the key part of organizational change around AI is about the leaders supporting it and working with it and working to look at the change is going to be so fundamental that we propose it as a collective process. So it's not just the employees just looking at the technology, playing around with it, but it's the leaders actually understanding where they want to go and engaging the rest of their teams in making those changes happen. So I don't know if that starts to make sense to you, Mohammed.
What's also going to happen is one is the closed environment that you're looking at confidentiality. I was saying that this confidentiality and other things you're talking about. So a closed environment can be created, which is what Martin's talking about. I am talking about the larger access to people as a first responder or the only responder if it works well for them. So we're looking at the larger picture and specific situations, organizational confidentiality, and whether they're giving access. We can work. All of that is available to work on. I mean, it's not difficult at all. We can create that environment where your data is secure, whatever is discussed within that is secure. Nothing goes out. That can be done. Martin is talking about that.
Yeah.
So all that is, we are talking about today is the larger picture. And then
Yeah.
in terms of this, look, today is just the launch of the mediation circle. Then we'll have sessions on each of those aspects that you were bringing out, Mohammed, and you have relation to within the organization, employees. Alex is looking at projects. So within projects, how can it work? Mandy is looking at something else. How can that work there? So we'll have those discussions as we go along. So it's something which, because there are a lot of things which comments I've seen in the LinkedIn chat also. We'll take that later. Yes, Mohammed, you're saying something.
Thank you very much, Martin. He said something very, 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 very important for me, because that's what the word I was using is, the technology is a partner. You know, it's a partner, and then I'm adding in my explanation for my colleagues. Okay, it's a partner, and then it's a drafting partner, and then the final copy will be reviewed by us. just trying to help people to get into. Because you have to convince people the employees to get into and to accept, because it's a change, and then we have to work on how to make them accepting, that reality that is the reality, and then we cannot avoid it from now on. So we are trying to do that, but I think we are doing, at least at my level, we are doing better. We're advancing, but okay, I'm just putting the question that I have had every time I'm talking about this subject.
Yeah. So would we like to try and set some ideas and document some of the ideas that we've got and start to bring that forward? Because if that's the case, we can, if we can sign it to Janice and do that. What are you thinking, Vikram?
What I was thinking was, what I'll do is I'll also put up what people have put up on LinkedIn. Let me put that up also at the same time. Then when you put it into your system, at least you can bring in this aspect also. Let's just have a look at that. So what do we have here? We have a hello from Paras. Hi Paras. Then Sadia has, technology can only speed up our work, but technology cannot take away our knowledge or wisdom. By using technology, it will be easy task to do till we need human to generate ideas about situation. We need humans. Maybe as we are going along, there are situations where they're saying that, of course, things have reached a level where whatever the artificial intelligence can do has become scary for some people, what all it can do, whether we have access to it or not, how much of that we have access to right today. But things are reaching different levels today. So,
so can I just respond to the Sadia's
please.
comment? So I find I do a lot of content writing. I find that I have a certain set of ideas, and I can put those ideas in, and that ChatGPT really helps expand those ideas. And you can take your ideas and ask questions of it. Give me a broader perspective than I've got, and so like I think there's this combination of what we can provide in our mindset, and then we can expand our mindset through technology. So it's not just about automation of task, but it's also it's helping us with becoming wiser, having a broader perspective, so I think that ChatGPT does cover a lot of the things, and I also, like, if I'm writing a letter, I can go, what is my tone like? What you can't ask it, what do you think? It will always say I can only analyze things, but it can give you. So I'm writing it from this tone and this perspective. What other perspectives should I be looking at? How would you think that person may respond to the words that I'm sending them? So it's able to give all of that back and feedback. So it becomes, very much as I use it very much as a partner in what I'm doing, and very much in the similar way that I think, Vikram, you've got as a first responder to issues. And it's just like great to have somebody there who will always be giving you feedback or ideas. Sometimes they're wrong, but very rarely, they're pretty great at responding to your ideas.
I think, Martin, what we did not do, what we should have done is we should have started with what is intelligence. I think that by itself we need to answer, because intelligence itself, how the world perceives intelligence itself, a lot of it, is it just information put in and access to that information? They have these quizzes and tests to test your whatever your intelligence level. Can it pass those? It has passed those. I'm sure it has passed them many times. So what are we looking at in terms of intelligence itself? Then wisdom, and you talk about wisdom now, of course, take away our knowledge, it has lots of knowledge available. Wisdom as by itself needs to be discussed. What is wisdom? I mean, using lots of information and processing it and taking out giving an output. How does the human brain work, and what does it have more than what the artificial intelligence has? That when we talk about human touch also, what is it all about? So the lots of those things which also we will discuss, because it is just an introduction kind of thing that we're doing today. Because what Tina is saying about simply type in the scenario, because Tina was part of one of the sessions that we did where we actually put a scenario, and what the output that she saw was very useful to her. And she's a leader, so she will provide possible resolution. So she's done that. So Sadia then says simple workplace conflict can be handled by AI, not complex and situational conflict. I'm saying, Sadia, things are moving forward very fast and this has to be tried out. So don't shut yourself out to that it cannot. Just open your mind to, yes, it can, and use it. And then we'll see. You can be part of whatever next session we do on this. So you can come in now. I'll send you the Zoom link. You can come in and have a discussion. So I'll just do that.
Yeah.
Then Jeffrey says,
can you expand Jeffrey's response?
How do we see the use of AI where delegation of responsibility is not appropriate? Delegators, non-potest delegare. Yes. Anyone answer that, Martin?
What's the question?
How do we see the use of AI where delegation of responsibility is not appropriate?
So what does that, like, what is...
Okay. Let's get Jeffrey. Let me get Jeffrey in also. Let's get them in. So I'm just sending them the link. Hopefully they'll see it. Sadia, Jeffrey there. Then, okay, Sadia can answer that. Then Tina says, are used for scenarios, proofreading, and possibly to build a neurodivergent friendly website if possible. There is genuine fear rooted in misinformation, no familiarity.
To me, a lot of the context, it's all about context. It's all about creating that context around the conversation that you're having, and then getting a different perspective. So that's why we go back to having these conversations, these collective conversations, where you're collecting the information that people's different perspectives, and you're capturing that, and then you're using the intelligence of AI to maybe pass that more effectively, maybe create a different perspective on it. It can be the partner. So now I'm one of the parties in a mediation. I've got access to that partner with the context of the mediation that's actually going on at the same time. So like as a human, I can digest so much, and I've got a lot of emotional blocks because I'm in conflict, right? But if I can go to a third party and just sort of say, okay, the person's saying this, why do you think they're saying that? What's that about? And you can get a different objective perspective on it, just purely based on the data. That's the power of bringing AI into conversations, right? And into mediations. And that's what I was hoping that we could do today with the tool. But it sort of, I think we give up on that idea.
No, we don't give up on it. We'll take it through, but let's at least, I tell you what, right now it's the theoretical part. People would think, what are we talking about? Let's do an actual situation. Let's do something. Yes, Mandy, please.
I was listening this very interesting conversation, and I had some questions in my mind I wanted to put on the table. What I was realizing is that we say in this conversation that to put questions and scenarios to the AI to answer. And I was wondering, is that what a mediator does? Do we ask mediator to give us advice or to judge or to say what is right or wrong? Or the participants that get the questions from the mediator, which will help them in their mindset, in their values, in their way of thinking, in their way of life, to find their own questions. So that's my first very, very, very basic to me question that to me, it leads me to the thought that it is a tool for a mediator, maybe for a participant in mediation, maybe, but I believe it is not the. It could be a counselor, a judge, or something else, but not a mediator. And what also makes me believe this is that we have when we have conflicts, we have antithesis between people, and we are trying to make a synthesis to find a connection. When we have mediation, the participants come to talk about their conflicts. They don't send somebody else, the lawyer or somebody else, to decide for them. It's their case. It's their the trust and the connection that you rebuild. So it is not somebody else who will rebuild this trust and connection, which is one of the basic problems when we have conflicts. So this is a matter of feelings, of empathy, of trust, of respect. So this is not a kind of intelligence or information that is going to repair this harm.
I'll tell you what, Mandy, what we'll do is that this is, of course, you talking about it from a theoretical perspective. Let's look at it from a practical perspective. Let's do it right now because we have access to it. We don't need to even go into hypotheticals. We have that. Let's go into what do you have in mind? Let's see. In terms of, let's put up the chat GPT up and let's see what you have in mind and where you feel this is what doesn't work for you in relation to whatever your thought.
I mean, it would be great to take what Mandy is saying and sort of try to establish what our relationship with ChatGPT AI is.
Let's do it. Let's do immediately do it, because what happens is that when we talk about the general thing, sometimes we underestimate what we have in front of us. There is a thought, because let's see. Yes, Mandy, just put out something that you feel that and this is the basic one. What Martin is using is ChatGPT 4. So which is even further.
I'm using ChatGPT 4 Turbo.
Yeah, so here we are talking the most basic thing that everyone has access to. What he has is still a paid version. So yes, Mandy, any example that you have, let's just take it up.
In a conflict or an argument, and I would say that let's say I'm thinking that my value is not the value of my personality is not in my job is not able. I can't express my personality through my job, and I'm told what to do in a way that is not respect. It does not have respect for my person.
Very nice. So just put it in words that I can put out there. So because ChatGPT needs an input in a manner where it can take it up in an easy manner. Yes. So what do you want me to write there? I am just a typist for you. What do you want me to ask? What is your?
I am
Mandy. I am Mandy. Am I Mandy? Okay, I'm Mandy. And I work for an organization called whatever. Work for an organization
And though
Called,
I have
what is the organization called? Organization
Just
called,
call it a large organization.
no, I'll give it a name so that next time it'll be easy for me to type it out. Called Zaki. Let's call it Zaki. Call it Zaki. Yes.
And,
okay.
Though I have the knowledge and the ideas to make a project for
one second, relax. I'm a simple typist. I'm not fast. I have the knowledge
and ideas how to save careta.
Okay. Everyone doesn't know what careta is. You tell them.
The third that is in protection in Zakynthos. This is my
save turtles. Let's just say that you don't have to be careta right now.
And the environment in Zakynthos.
And I just saved turtles and the environment.
Yeah.
In my city.
Yes, but because I don't have a good relationship with time, and I'm a little destructive personality.
Where are we going, Mandy? Okay, so now, what you wanted to be a therapist also, it can be a therapist for sure, but
no, it's not.
You had an issue with. Well, Sadia's here. Let's just say hi to Sadia first, and then we'll get it. Hi, Sadia.
Hello, Vikram. Oh, very interesting talking to you. In my organization, we do mediation a lot when it comes to workplace conflicts, and we have different scenarios. We have internal investigation bodies and who are responsible for handling sexual harassment, and in workplace conflict, we go for mediation. So I have to deal with complex situations and sometimes petty issues, like a team where 3 or 4 people like to have coffee outside and rest of them working whole. So they feel this is isolation. Oh, they are going outside having coffee for 20 to 30 minutes. They don't have respect towards workplace hours, and they are involved in grouping. They make them feel isolated, so they lodge a complaint. So we treat it as a workplace conflict and do mediation. But when we initiate mediation, then we feel that how can we come to a conclusion, because they have different mindset, they have different personalities and way of thinking, way of delivering their jobs. So all of them are different. So by using AI, I feel a little bit discomfort, because how can AI analyze these situations? Yes, it is my first session with you. Therefore, maybe I have lack of knowledge on these issues. But first time I thought that how can it could be handled by AI, because humans have that sense to feel the discomfort or feel and to stepping into other shoes, because AI don't have. AI only have the analyzing data and the statement they given to and evidence they are receives. So I feel how could it can help us, because I feel that AI can help us by formatting, writing, and analyzing. And when we provide our organization an annual report towards how many mediation we do and how many successful mediation, because after mediation we don't receive any complaint from the both parties. In maximum time after mediation, both of party calls to us, Appa, we have these agreements, but she did these things. So that time, being a mediator, people, how can we resolve? So that particular things, if AI lead in future, then how we will align this concept of being sensing the human sense or the discomfort of that individual or comfort zone of that individual. How will you bridge these two mode of thinking or mindset? I would like to know that.
First thing you have to start with, think that it is a person. and an intelligent person. We have to start with that. I think we start with this whole thing, oh, it's just a machine picking up data and analyzing. Aren't we that? Aren't we also, have we picked up so much information over time and we analyze it and we give the output? So think it's an intelligent being. Let's not discount it at all. Wherever as we go along, we feel that no, this is not a human response, then that's a good thing. So we'll get to know this is where we need humans and this is where this can do the work. Because if it can do the work well, let it do that work, and whatever humans are required for, we'll see where they're, because that's the way I'd be talking about mediation also. Yes, there is something about that connection between people, connecting to the heart, soul, the whole spirituality thing. Can that also take care of it? So then all of us can then relax and play golf. Let it do all the work. So we are okay with it doing things. Let's not feel it's something which it cannot take care of. So let's look at actual situations, which we are doing with Mandy right now. If there is a specific, now you have a specific situation, Sadia. Mandy, we'll take specific situation here, or you wanting to put it into words where we can communicate it to Chat GPT easily? Is there something that you want to, what you were talking about, Mandy?
I was thinking that what would be interesting if we put 2-3 similar cases but not the same, if there will be any change in the answer.
Let's do that. Let's not go. Let's go right now. So, but your question had not ended. Your whole thing had not ended. You want to save the turtles and the environment in second thoughts. That's what you're saying. What is the issue?
The issue is that I have a conflict with a company, that the NGO I work for.
Yes. Within the company, within Zaki, what is the conflict?
About if we are going to interfere the local people in the protection, or it will happen from I don't know, from Dubai, let's say, where the
we need a pair. Okay. I have a conflict within Zaki where I want to bring in local people. What is the issue? It's not sounding. What is the issue? Just that whether you should bring in people from outside or whether you should bring in people within. Yeah. Okay.
But I have. You said to say something about the case.
I have a conflict within Zaki where I want to bring in local resources, want to bring in local people.
People, yes, to
bring
participate.
In local people in the activity.
Yes, and the participate in the decision making, and the NGO thinks that they know and they will decide the island.
Bring in local people, and they want to bring in people from Dubai whom they think have better knowledge.
No, they are AIs, all in Dubai. All the citizens in Dubai, they are AI.
Bring local people to save the turtles and the environment.
This
is okay. That's okay. Let's go through this, because I mean,
are you going to share your screen?
Yeah, I'll just do it. And well, you don't want to see me typing the way I'm typing, so I want to do it without putting it up. And Zaki wants to bring specialists from Dubai.
What's the question you're going to ask?
Yeah, I'm just doing that. I'm just doing it from Dubai. I'm going to put in a question.
Who takes the decision?
Please help us in resolving this call.
Ask what the process is to
resolving this conflict.
Decision making is the conflict. If it is going to be
it doesn't matter. It's okay. Just to don't get so involved in it.
I don't think we want to ask it who should make the decision.
Let's just say what kind of answers we get. Look, today we're just trying to get what kind of answers it gets. Mandy thinks that that's the kind of thing that she's looking at. Let's just see what kind of answers we get. It's great that you're passionate about saving turtles. Resolving them with can be handling. Have some steps you can consider taking to address. Oh, it is going very fast. Take it slowly.
Seeking mediation.
Okay. Okay. Schedule a meeting with key stakeholders at Zaki. Really express your idea. But look, this itself is important for some people. You might think this is. We might think this is. No, man. We are here. We are talking about people in general. Also, we might think, oh, because we are part of this whole resolution industry, let me call it that, we would think this is normal. For a lot of people, this is important stuff that goes out. How do you go about it? So let's just look at it from this way.
You remember, Vikram, once at first we had AI. You remember we were asking some questions, and he proposed to go to mediation.
Okay, fair. It will also do that. But first read here, Mandy, what is up here, because you put this out. Let us see what kind of output we've got here. Mandy has a little bit of an issue concentrating on the whole thing. So that's okay, Mandy. We're okay. We'll take it slowly.
Come on YouTube to Vikram to make your issue a public issue.
No, it's perfectly all right. It's normal. There's no issue with it. That's not an issue. Are you reading it? Because you're going to tell us whether this was something that you want further questions on. We want further questions, but this is now serious stuff, because this is going out as something that you had an issue. It told you certain things. Now what did you want it to do? Because this is available to everyone in the world to use right now.
What I see is that he is a counselor. He gives advices. That's not what a mediator.
But your question was such that it is how your question wasn't. What information gave you was based on what you put in. Take it further. This is not the end. You've just started a conversation with ChatGPT. Now take it forward with it. So it said seek mediation. Okay.
Yes, that's good. Yes, that's good. But he's giving advice.
This is okay. Zaki wants you to be the mediator.
Okay.
Okay.
Please yes.
Take us through the process. Mandy is here, and Martin is also here, who is the HR head. Okay, let's do that. HR head. Okay. Are you reading, Mandy?
Oh, he's accepting the proposal.
Yes, it's very nice.
Yeah. Come on.
So look, this is, I mean, this is how it's given you the general process. Okay.
Yes.
This is the general process. So this is also a lot of something available to people to see what can happen. Now we take it, you can take it through specifics. You can actually put it out there, because look, this is something that you just made up. So maybe today you might not have so much to talk about it, but Sadia had some specific thing that she was wanting to talk about. So we'll put that coffee issue, if that coffee issue is there, Sadia, we can use that. So look, this works well when you have actual situations. Today we are already thinking, let's test it out. Oh, let's test it out. Let's test it out. And we take it into some hypothetical situation, which we also don't have anything further to say. Let's look at actual dispute. This person and this person have a dispute, and let them put out their emotional aspect of it also. Everything. Let's see how it deals with it. We are apprehensive about using something that is available to us for free. We just have to type a few sentences out. Why do we do that? Let's just use it. Let's go for it. Let's see what it has to say. What's the worst it can do? It cannot go into your system and pick it, catch you by the neck and do something to you. It's if your human intelligence is good enough to understand what it's saying and pick up what you want from it, it's available to you. You are not forced into something. There's some kind of this thing that somewhere we are being forced into something. Now we'll get influenced by it. Social media is influencing you all the time. We still go access to it. It gives you all kind of content based on what your thought process is. We still access it. Let's just access it. Yes, Sadia, please.
So I think you reach a point with the generic ChatGPT where you've got the generic value, you've got the processes, you've got good insights, you've got very solid things, but there's a nuanced and a level that is beyond that, and that's what that's the next level, and we can have that conversation later, Vikram, but that's what I started with, right?
No, Martin, this is not like that. It takes you to further levels only when you put in things which are actually there. What is really happening is everyone's testing it out, not using it for actual situations. We used it for something. which came in with given options and everything is done. That also, even as it was a little hypothetical, but still relevant to some people. So I was saying Sadia has something. Sadia was saying something. Yes, Sadia.
Yes, Vikram. I use ChatGPT when I do any research work or for making any SOPs or uh, letter of uh, letter of interest for any PhD matters. But in terms of mediation, ChatGPT helps me do a research work, or when you are writing a letter or any invitations. But when you do mediation, ChatGPT only help me to guide or is or a, you to show the process. In our organization, we have an SOP on mediation, and we develop formats like we take consent, we take their statements in written, and we do finalize a report, then report to both parties supervisor for the next course of actions, because sometimes we need to give feedback to both parties. Then we approach to the supervisor before us, he give the feedbacks, and they come to an agreement that they will follow these, and both parties will follow these criteria. So when we initiate mediation, we launch mediation in our organization by doing background work, massive research on it, and by taking ideas of people or how they feel. Because when you initiate formal investigation, people will traumatize and they drop out. And in our organization, when we started investigations, a huge number of dropouts be the result. Therefore, we launch mediation because we don't want to lose our employees, because we train them, we guide them, we monitor them. So we want to keep our employees within ourselves, and where she or he requires their development, we give them feedbacks by way of mediations, because we are a family. We consider each employee as a family member. So when a family member is hyperactive or introvert or extrovert or ambivert, we receive them because we take them as family. But within our organization, our aspect is, if we, being a family, we receive each member as our family, then why not in our organizations? So in handling mediation, I think ChatGPT only helped me by giving ideas.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. This is because you have used it like that. Don't say that. The thing is, everything that you have said, everything in relation to your organization can all be input. What Martin is talking about, creating specific things, maybe for organizations or in general for conflict resolution, you can put in your data there. It's not because ChatGPT might not have access to it. Further, what we have to go along is, can mediators, based on the work that they are doing, can they start inputting their own experiences? Are they recording it without I mean, of course, wherever that confidentiality aspect, not talking about specific things. So because I can be reach a level where mediations themselves can be recorded at all points of time in every aspect of it, in terms of the video aspect of it, the audio, the tone, everything. And when you have millions of these things happening, and if they're recorded, obviously ChatGPT or any artificial intelligence can work better. But it does not have access to all that. It doesn't have access to actual mediation taking place. So definitely it has its limitations in relation to that, maybe. But can we change that? Because finally, for me, it is that, can people have access to a mediator, first of all, and a mediator available to them, okay, for free right now. But if you say, if Martin is trying to develop something, maybe you can maybe pay for that access, but you've got specialized content available in that. So we are just going through steps at how we can do it. But of course, ideally, all mediations in the world, what are already taking place, can they be video recorded and audio? I mean, the audio recording, everything available, and from that, picking up things that the artificial intelligence can pick up, and then the whole very nuanced aspect of it. And when we talk about tone and all those important aspects. So even body movements and everything, facial expressions, everything can be recorded. But are we going to give access to that? I don't know whether that's going to happen easily. So we have to work with whatever we have available. So every mediator should then write out a certain brief of what they went through, every mediation, and let's start inputting that. So we can start with that. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, create a system. He's called it Ken GPT. We're going to expand that, but today we were looking at it from, say, whatever we have access to Ken Cloak's, whatever training manual.
But don't you think it will breach the data protection of any organization? Because when you are using ChatGPT as your sole mediator, any other person from India or Malaysia or from any other region, they do have access of those data.
No,
So,
Sadia, what we spoke about earlier was that you can create a closed system, where the data is not available to the public. So it's your closed data, that confidentiality is protected. What we are talking about is the open access that everyone has access to, and that's okay. Yes, that is picking up data from whatever is input into it. But Martin is going to answer that. Then Mandy, but let Martin just answer that, because he's getting a little worked up. That look, where is this whole thing going? He had a structured approach.
I think it's probably worth having that conversation about where this conversation is going. So
yes.
yeah, but let's go to Mandy first. She was up.
Yes,
She
yes,
put her
Mandy.
hand up.
Oh, thank you. You're a gentleman. Thank you.
Not like Vikram.
Which I don't think an AI would be maybe realize what these senses of human touch are. Neutrality is something very important that we could be sure that we taste through AI, which is something you remember in your symposium, and every time we talk about neutrality, it's a big question mark if can be neutrality from a mediator. So AI for sure would be a nice test to see how neutrality really works and if it is helpful, which is not sure. But I'm not sure if empathy is something possible to get. To me, I mean, this combination, neutrality and empathy, I don't know if the speaker...
No, but where is...
There was a study. Let me go.
No, the empathy part, let me just tell him. Let me tell
No,
Mandy.
I'm going to answer.
No, the empathy part, I just want to put that out because she has been, I don't know whether she watched that session. We did speak about it, Mandy, about that empathy part and showing empathy and how Eunice took us through those steps. And I said, all this artificial intelligence can do, you were part of that. So yes, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, there's been good studies that have shown that ChatGPT is a lot more empathetic than doctors.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of study that it's possible. So in your exercise, you were able to demonstrate that, were you?
No, in that, what we were doing was we were not actually going through that process. I was saying that whatever she was bringing out, this should be your response. She was saying, if this happens, this should be a response. I'm saying all those responses are available to that artificial intelligence to be able to give that output. And that's what people are looking for, is that output, whether I got that output or not. So that aspect is not something which is not so difficult.
Okay, that's good. So I think I wanted to bring up two things. One is we've sort of talked about the role that what we want this group to do, and it feels like it really wants to look at the existing availability of AI for general community, not necessarily for mediators and for building process around to support mediators. So that, I mean, that's an interesting, is that what the conclusion, like, is that a conclusion, or is that just sort of where we're starting the story, where we're starting the conversation?
No, Marty, what we're saying is that, yes, it can be used by everyone, but we have to be open to, yes, using it first of all. Are we willing to use it? Or are we, like Sadia said, only using it to write letters and creating those things? No, we have to open our mind to, yes, it can be used for something. Then what do we need for the user in general, someone to access it for free? What needs to be, what is available to them to put it out for them, that this is what's available to you, which is what that session, which I did earlier, which can always be done. take an actual situation, put it out there, let's see how it responds. But important thing is, how do you put those prompts to ChatGPT? That has become the expertise for people. But that by itself is an important area. Are we able to bring out the best from that system? Because if we are not going to put in the right questions, or put in everything properly, your output is also going to be what we might not even be able to use. So that's the important part. How do we ask ChatGPT? First of all, once we have the open mind, we can, if you're talking to a person, let's put it out in that form. I say, please tell me this. I just think I'm talking to a person. I know this is not a machine, it's a person there.
Yeah.
So I use that kind of language exactly that way. So where the prompts are going to be the important part, and that seems to be the next job, which is going to be the biggest thing. How do we get to ask ChatGPT properly? So that's
Right.
one. And then for people in the conflict resolution who have taken it up as their work, how can they use it? What can we do to enhance that? What kind of inputs we need from them also to make it better as we go along? Because if we are developing it, so we need to also bring in something that adds value. So are you saying we can just put books in there? You're putting all the books available in relation to conflict resolution, which there might be access, which ChatGPT also has access to. But otherwise, if it does not, we can put that content. What do we need to do to enhance it? We're just talking about what we can do, what we are doing, what we have right now, but what we can also talk
so
about.
I was trying to sort of close down a few conclusions that we've got in this group. Do we want to focus on the existing capability and drive out a whole load of really good prompts that people could use in ChatGPT? That sounds like a really good sort of potential thing that we could aim to do. We could look at a particular area of mediation, and say, well, how do we support that method, that particular area of mediation best? I wasn't saying books. I just said books were immediately available. You could have sessions that you run that you capture the notes from, and then use that data, or you could use some of the pre-existing. We can use a lot of the videos that you've been working on. We can use the transcripts from that. We can use books. We can use whatever we want and create a solution that we can say, okay, this is something that we solves this particular problem, this problem, and this is how effective it is. And then we could pick a way out project to say, we want to develop something that, where we don't need a mediator. We just want ChatGPT to be able to interface with it and test how that goes. Those are sort of some of the options that I was thinking that we could potentially look at. We've gone sort of down one road at the moment, but in general, what do people think about what the group wants to do here? What do you want to achieve?
Yeah, what we'll do is, once this session we send out, we'll ask people to give in their inputs onto what they think, how they think about it. Because today I'm telling you, the first thing that we have to do is open people's mind to what the capability of artificial intelligence is. That by itself is the first step. Once you open the mind, then start those inputs coming in as to how we can use it, where we want to use it, and to enhance its capability. What does it not have? What can we provide? So we'll go in through that discussion. That's why I was saying I wanted to take Sadia's specific example, some example that she had in mind. I wanted to put it out there because the capability, like you said, Martin, that in a general way it goes through process. Let's see, it goes through things beyond that into actual situations, but you have to take it through it properly. So that I might have it recorded. I don't know whether we have that chat.
But for like ChatGPT has a limited amount of history that it can build, right? So if you ask a question, right, you can then include the answer to that question as part of your next thing. So it will track a certain amount of thread of the history of the conversation that you're having. And then, but there's a point at which that's limited. So you have to understand how that gets used. And so where I'm going with this conversation is that we writing those prompts and making sure that that context is there is very powerful, and it provides as much context as possible. ChatGPT is able to, if you give it the context, it is able to do pretty well, really great analysis, right? But it's just somewhat limited in the current tool. But all of those limitations will disappear over time, right?
And what
as it advances, the prompt length is increasing, the ability to do the analysis is increasing. It will accelerate and accelerate and accelerate. So to Vikram, your point about opening your mind, really, it will be able to replace much of what we do eventually. And so we've got to make decisions, active decisions about how we want to be involved in things, rather than say, ChatGPT, you can take all of this stuff, or AI, you can take all of this stuff. It's going to be about us making decisions about what we want to be involved in, what we treasure, in what we value, and how our input is provided, and the nuance we want to bring, the gifts we want to bring to a situation, rather than have somebody else decide.
The only problem, Martin, that is happening is that people want to, in some way, limit the usage and even the development of ChatGPT. Is what Tina has just put in the chat, that ChatGPT Plus version has been paused by the developer. So those things, which, I mean, why they would do it, what are the reasons for it, why would you not let it develop? So that we'll face those issues, because we might think that, yes, as it progresses, more things will come out. But if they do not let that development happen, but let's see what happens. But let's just bring Sadia in. Sadia was saying something. Yes, Sadia.
Yeah, Vikram. We are on the same page. Okay, I'm not demotivating ChatGPT, the usage of ChatGPT, but I want to say that we need to modify it, because I want to give you an example. Sometimes my supervisor tell me.
No, one second, Sadia, we are going to type it out. Whatever you're saying, I'm going to type it out, like I was doing with Mandy. Now, okay. So Sadia has a supervisor.
Okay,
Sadia and her supervisor. What is her supervisor's name?
He used to say, please, Sadia, come to the meeting and take meeting minutes. So this work terrified me. This is silly works. Why should I involve with this? So I take an AI, and whenever it's online meeting, I was amazed, because I block my calendar and AI took all the notes. My meeting minutes, not an issue for me. He take the notes and I just generate it and make humanoid and then send it to my supervisor. So AI helps me these stupid works, which I think this is totally stupid, taking meeting minutes for me, because I'm in a situation I'm no longer in taking meeting minutes. So when my supervisor says, I feel really terrifying me a lot. So when I want to shift another level, like when I think that mediation is a stupid word, it's not my cup of tea, then AI will take the slot or take that field, but I have to go another level. So when AI take that slot from me, then AI have to generate ideas or put the same effort like me. Because when I install the AI of taking meeting minutes, I feel that let's take a try. And I think he done a really fantastic works, and I don't have to need my use of my brain to taking meeting minutes. I have to use my brain in another slot.
But Sadia, what you're saying is that when you move up, then you will let that become the mediator. I am saying that this will happen where you will be replaced, because there might be other reasons to replace you. Maybe if it is cheaper for an organization to have a machine doing it, we don't know what the reasons are going to be. So it's not about you letting it do it. It will happen anyway. So it's whether you can bring it in, and then what value do you add? That is what is going to be the question. So your apprehensions about you being replaced based on that, whether technology is going to
stop
up till you let it come in.
Not like I think that AI will be my assistant. Okay, he will assist me. Which jobs I don't really want to do,
No, you have
or
to go
which
beyond that.
jobs
You have to go beyond that.
really
Sadia, you have
annoys
to
me.
go. You have to go
That
beyond that. You have to go
AI.
beyond that. It's not going to be just basic things. It's going to be a lot more than that. And how it brings, we will see how it goes along. We'll do that. But we'll do an actual situation today itself. Today, right now, Martin is getting a little this thing. He wants to take it further. But before we end this session, we'll definitely take one of your specific examples, which is, think about it. If you want to note it down, actual workplace issue, note it down. We'll do it on ChatGPT right now. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, sure. I will
Yes,
do it. Thank
yes,
you.
yeah. Yes, Mohammed.
And I want just to come back to what Martin said, and then what he proposed, I go with it. I'm very happy with it, but just with the target that we have to increase the trust in using this tool in our job. Once we have that trust, in using it, I think then everyone will handle it, and with the problems and the techniques that we can find during its utilization. The problem is the fear to go into it for some of us. It's very important. Now I have another technical questions. Okay, as a mediator, okay, I can use that technical, the AI to for my job, and then I am in big bureaucracy administration, and then some other parts that I need them. They are not using the technology. What can I do?
Yes.
I need some information from, let's suppose that the HR are not using the technology, and then for me, I am using it. And then I have some interaction or interference between, I need the informations, and how can I do it? Should I have to do it with my ChatGPT, or I have to ask manually to do the things?
Some system, Martin, what system can be created where the inputs,
yeah,
my mom needs inputs from other departments.
So that's the purpose of Jana's.
Yeah, that's the system that is developed. That Jana's system that is developed is basically, the idea is that people from, it could be various departments which will be linked to that. It is, I think maybe you want to show him, why don't you just go through a process, show them how you use Jana's in general, what you have created there, and how different conversations come in. Then from those conversations, what all is being picked up, all that is Martin has worked on it. And it's always, everything is a work in progress. So all that is going to be refined. So one is in what he was talking about, this Ken GPT, that was one part. But otherwise he's worked on a system for within organizations, the collaboration part of it. So Martin, why don't you just give them a little demo of that?
I was planning to sort of just share the whole experience, but I can share the just let me bring my screen over. Yeah. It's not the best way to do a demo, quite frankly.
Just an idea, because like I said, these are conversations we'll have further, and all those issues that people want to.
So in terms of this is just the sort of overall structure of the conversation. And we start with an exploring sort of just an outline. So you're bringing in people, and let me just look at a card. So you can bring in these are some of the people that have been sorry. So you can invite people from everywhere, and they can,
So invite me, Martin. Let's start a conversation. Let's see what we have.
Okay.
Let's go through maybe just the development of the circle. We had spoken about that, but let's do it on an actual situation here. There was some.
So
yeah.
This is what we had sort of talked about doing, and we were going to. Sorry, just one second. We're going to start with this question. What do you think about AI, and what do you think about mediation and AI, and who do we want to serve? So that was the idea was everybody would be answering questions. So
You can do that.
maybe just give me some answers
Yes.
to that question.
Okay. So, I mean, what we want AI to do is actually be the mediator.
So be first
Okay,
mediate.
Tina is at pre-mediation. Tina has written
Mediator
pre-mediation.
as the first responder, right?
Yeah, that's one part. Tina has put a comment in the chat.
It's very difficult
Pre-mediation.
for me to type this quickly, as you
I
might
know,
have experienced a few
Yeah,
minutes
that's-
ago, Vikram. Okay, and that's why everybody, so Mohammed, everybody can access this and enter their own ideas. You can either see them coming, or you can just give people time to think and do it themselves. So like we can turn this
You can
no
say,
sharing.
you
Somebody
can write,
else's.
you could further write in that pre-mediation and early dispute. It's okay, early dispute resolution, definitely. So these are things that are coming out. Pre-mediation.
Pre-mediation. What about it?
She wants preparation for a mediation. Wants to. That's what, Tina. Are you
Help
wanting
prepare.
Yes.
Help
Yes. Thank you.
research and prepare
Yeah.
for a mediation.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Yes, Mohammed, Sadia, anything specific you want to write in relation to how you want to use AI? Sadia, something?
Yes. First of all, you have to give him a fact. Then
What do you want to
ask
use
for
it?
the plan.
What do you want to use it for?
approach.
No, Sadia, what do you want to use AI for? What do you want to use? Not how to do it, it's separate thing. What do you want to use it for?
I want a plan.
Want a plan. Plan.
Plan. Plan
Respond with
day
a plan.
1, day 2, day 3, or mediation period. Then said, then outcome. This type of plans.
Okay.
Something.
Able to respond with a plan for
Mohammed, anything?
mediation.
Mandy, anything? Mandy? Anything that you want to use AI for? No. Okay. Okay, that's perfect.
Okay, so we want to use it as the first responder pre-mediation. I want to expand the options, understand the main themes of the dispute. Play devil's advocate. What else could we do?
Could we check the neutrality
Yeah, we can check
in the war between let's suppose it is a mediator in the war between Israel and Palestine.
So what do you want the AI to do?
So it could,
The neutrality, if there is neutrality.
In what? In what? Whether?
In what? Yes.
okay, so that works, right? Check neutrality of perspective of the mediator.
Yes.
Okay, so it could say, yeah, I'm sure it could balance some of the perspectives. What else?
But while you're doing that, let me just put out that Sumaya has put some comments. Sumaya, I think you've got the Zoom link also. If you want to come in, you can come into the discussion. She had some comments in the LinkedIn chat. Yeah.
Yeah, be a partner for participants.
I also want about skill development, something about skill development, that it can help in skill development in relation to mediation, or as a mediator, as a peacemaker, conflict resolution in general.
Okay, and then can I add something? Can I add something?
Yeah.
Being informal in the mediation process.
Being informed of the
informal. Yeah.
Informal in the mediation process.
Yeah, in the mediation process.
What does that mean?
It's a minute when we are. I'm not obeyed to the rules and regulations. I'm working very independently, and I'm not putting everything in writing because it's behind that is the confidentiality.
Okay. So having off.
Or you can do what you have to, you can put because we spoke about neutrality, we can speak about confidentiality too. Yeah. Okay. Careful about confidentiality.
That's interesting because it's it's because your definition of confidentiality is not, no, sorry, I didn't mean that. Your earlier statement about being informal really meant it wasn't written down. It wasn't in a record somewhere. And
well, this is the ambiguity of
dilemma,
the things.
Yeah, because you have to sort of get it documented for AI to process it. So document the process that happened.
Check informed consent.
Ensure informed consent. Wow, that's a big one, right? And so what do you that may go back to power balancing, right? So if somebody's help power balance through information. So maybe evaluate options that are being presented.
Mandy, something else? Mandy wants to definitely have something else. Mandy, anything else that you want to add to it? Okay.
I'm sorry?
Anything else you want to add? Anything else that you want to add? Anything else that you want to use AI for?
I would say that it is a support. It is a support as I see it, but I think it is a very good tool.
No, Mandy, what you're asking is that what do you want to use it for? You want to use it as a tool for what?
As a tool to check myself, as a mediator, as a tool to check my neutrality, maybe, or to see different kind of.
Okay, generating options. Let's say generating options, Martin. Let's say to generate options. Let's do that.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Okay.
To check me as a mediator, what does that mean?
It means that these things like neutrality, which is something that is a challenge for every mediator, I think. It's something that it is a tool that could be close to neutrality. So it is a way to check ourselves. I mean, our human difficulties.
Yeah.
And these qualities that may be the personal things that we carry, and this tool may be something much more objective than a human.
You want to be neutral, you don't want to be neutral, should you be neutral? All those questions are in any case another level, but okay. So your bias is something with this. Okay, we'll
so shall we now
we should do that. We should do
ask ChatGPT what this is a summary of, or something like that.
Yes, yeah. What?
So I'm just going to ask for please, I'm just going to try a few different things. So we could develop 5 themes. themes about what we want to use chat GPT.
Can it check voluntariness and self-determination?
Sorry,
Put it
I
later.
can-
We can put it later. It doesn't matter. We just,
No, we can-
Tina,
we
we're
can
just
add it
trying
now.
it out. Voluntariness in self-determination. Okay, she wants to check that. We'll put it
Volunteer.
later.
Okay.
Just testing it out. We don't want, this is not the final thing. We'll always use it later. This is just that Martin is giving us a demo of what he's
So
put
this
out
is
there.
this part. I'm not querying the the training material here. This is purely ChatGPT.
He's just structuring what was put out there. So that's
Yeah,
he's using the system for that.
yeah,
And then each of those issues that we raised, that is just expanding on that as to how it can
Yeah.
be done, what can be done.
yeah.
So that's
So it's let's go through it. It said AI as a supportive assistant in mediation. AI as for skill development and performance evaluation, which combined your perspective, Vikram, and Mandy's perspective. AI for expanding options and creativity. That was part of me, part of Mandy. AI for informed consent and power balancing. It picked that one out as almost directly. And
so
then
what says
AI
the first
as-
responder? Let's see. Yeah, I can
and
quickly
the
write
first
that.
responder. Yeah, pick that out as well.
Even begin the process of de-escalation before a human mediator.
So then let's say tell us more about let's just use this one here at the bottom here. AI. And then tell us more about this one. And then I'm going to put the query of mindset change. Where is it? There is potential mindset change. See what it comes back with. Okay. So this is saying that basically, if we want to have AI as a first responder, these are the mindset changes that would need to happen.
Like the first one that we just spoke about, just open to the idea of using it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
But here I'm going to, up till I don't satisfy Sadia on the aspect of how it can be used totally, we are not going to end this session, Sadia. So if you have to stick around.
No, I want my stupid jobs done by AI, like
No,
writing reports.
We want to make sure that Sadia can go and have coffee while artificial intelligence does the work. If humans can't have coffee and sit together and talk, why do we have technology? So let technology do its work and let us all enjoy ourselves. There's so much more we want to do in life. Mandy she lives on a beautiful island. She can go swimming. Why does she have to sit with people and handle their issues when the machine can do it? Let's not say machine. Artificial intelligence. And look, we keep talking about artificial intelligence. Actually, there was, when I put out I think some quote I was putting out, which I generated from there. I'd written artificial intelligence is greater than natural stupidity. So, so we must always look at it from that perspective. We keep saying human. Of course, there is a lot of human and natural stupidity going around. Because of it, we have lots of issues around the world and
Lots of workplace conflicts are going through because people can't say no. So when we receive this workplace conflict, then we discuss, why don't she raise her voice? Can't she say I'm disturbed? Or can't she say, please, no?
We'll get into those specific thing, but Martin is generating something. Yes, Martin. So you generated.
I finished the generation. So like, where do we want to go from here? Do we want to go to the next question?
Yeah, whatever. I mean, basically, what Mohammed, you have to just.
So what we were trying to do was, I'll just add these other questions. Sorry, they are actually there. Sorry.
Why can you through this also generate an actual situation and then use it for resolution? Can we, is that can we do that? Because I'm going to do it here. I'm anyway going to do it on
Yeah,
ChatGPT
you're
directly.
going to do it over there. So
Sadia's finding that
I would like to try to find out what's important. Now we've sort of thought about it, what's important for us about AI. What do we specifically? I think we've sort of done that, haven't we?
Yeah.
So maybe I'll move to the next. Okay, sorry.
This is basically, Mohammed, as I understand, basically what Martin is trying to do is that various conversations that take place in relation to, could be in terms of there's a dispute or some conflict happening and a lot of people are discussing it, is just in a way assimilating all that and then from it using all that to generate options maybe, or take the conversation further, something like that. I think that's what the idea is.
So yeah, I mean, here the way we planned it was we would do that initial thoughts with the bit that we did with everybody. We would then look at what was important for them, right? So you could look at going to, so generally, what do we think about AI? What's really important? And then we would vote on it. So we would all agree that these were the 5 things that we wanted to do. And then we would generate, but from knowing what's important and knowing what's important to the collective, as well as for the ourselves, we could then generate ideas of the goals for the circle, and then we could score those goals on whether they were strategic or what type of goal they were. And in that way, we can build a better consensus together of where we want to go with this, right? So that's what the tool's about. And in the middle of that, you're going back to ChatGPT and saying, we've got this data. What do we want to, what questions do we want to ask? I think in these instructions here, I created some questions. How do we think about how AI might assist mediators? What initial concerns do we have? What benefits? And what would we like to learn? So, based on this sort of input, that was the sort of questions that I was hoping that we could ask. But let's get to that example. And I mean, do you want you've got access to this, Vikram, and we had an interplay going on, and so maybe we could just create it on that, if that makes sense to you.
No, why I was wanting to do it directly on ChatGPT is because everyone has access to it, and I just want to show the potential of that. But Sadia, you've got your hand up raised. Want to say something?
Yes, I have a question. Can it generate data? Because I need to know in January or in April how much mediation I have conducted. So can it assist me in this regard?
A little more complex things. All this can be done. All this can be done. It's something more complex. Here we're talking about actually resolving conflicts. So now you have to give us an example of a specific issue that you have. Specific, it has to be very specific. Names have to be there. X and Y. And this is what their issue is. And they've come to you. Now, instead of you, it is ChatGPT. And we keep using.
Why don't you ask ChatGPT to generate a conflict?
No, this will be an actual thing, because Sadia will relate to it, because it will be actual from her office. The only thing is that we have, let me just say, we keep saying ChatGPT.
I'm just trying to save us time.
No, we have time. Martin, you know that I've always told people time is never an issue here, because we need to take it through these basics. As a lot of people don't realize the potential. But ChatGPT, we keep using that, actually is just one form of how we are using artificial intelligence. Lots more which is happening in the world. But we keep saying ChatGPT because we have access to it, but there are lots more that you can access. So it's not limited to ChatGPT. So it's not artificial intelligence means ChatGPT. It'll become a generic term for artificial intelligence. I don't want that to happen, because a lot of people must be doing lots more about how it can be used. So this is not just it. There's lots more, but we are using it because that's the only one I use, and there are definitely lots more. So let's go. Sadia, example is there. Now there is a dispute which has come up in your organization. So you were, so I'm asking ChatGPT to be the mediator between, what are the names of the people?
Sadia
Between Sadia
and
and
Shumi.
spell Shumi, Shumi.
Okay.
Shumi. Okay, perfect. You are the mediator between Sadia and Shumi. Now, what is the issue?
Issue is uh, uh, they cannot take each other positively. One is senior, older, and another
Who is
is
older? Now we have
newcomer.
to give it exact. Now this have to be exact. So Sadia is is Shumi senior
Shumi is senior,
in
experience,
the
and
organization.
or of the organization, and Sadia is newcomer, and she bring innovations and new ideas. Shumi cannot take this, and she always feel threatened by her, and she always try to demotivated her by her approach, gesture, posture,
You
and
do know
by
that you'll have to go slow down. Only thing I think we need voice for ChatGPT. Look, I have to type out. I have to first understand what you're saying. I'm at the same time trying to in some way put it out in a manner. So Sadia and Shumi, between Sadia and Shumi is Sadia's senior in the organization. Sadia has come with new ideas, right?
yes, new ideas and innovations.
New ideas and innovation. Okay, and innovations.
Can you speak loudly so I can record this?
Yeah, please. Okay, so you can say it out also. We'll record it also. But Sadia has come with new ideas and innovations, which
Shumi cannot stand it. She feels threatened by Sadia because of her X factors.
Okay, what's because of which Sadia feels threatened, right?
Shumi feels threatened. Shumi is senior.
Yeah, Shumi feels threatened. Shumi feels threatened. Okay. And what happens after that?
By this time, Shumi didn't cooperate with Sadia, hide informations, and
that's why it's better if you were, I was telling you to write it down and then we'll put it out in point. Shumi doesn't cooperate with Sadia, hides information from
Sadia, and update about new approaches or operational manual from Sadia.
And so let's just say basic. Okay, let's say it hides information from Sadia. That's just okay. This much enough? More than that. Then what? Right. Let's just put this out. Let's just put it out. Let's see as it goes along.
This is the fact of conflict.
Okay, so now let's see what it says.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
You have to read this, Sadia. You have to read this, and then you have to. It'll take us through further this thing. Okay, so Sadia, could you please share more information about the new ideas and information brought to the table? How do you like this aspect that it has brought out by itself? As a first responder, what do you think, Sadia?
Can you go to the question as well?
The question, this is what we have said. So I'm saying a lot of people don't have even this much that comes out. This can also give them some thought as to how to move forward.
For sure.
And this is just a starting point. So now it wants Sadia to share more information about the things. So you can put that. Okay, something about Sadia wants to restructure something, restructure the flow of work. Something like that. Something. Sadia, you are supposed to give this. I'm making it up. You are not. It's your issue.
Yeah,
So
here it can.
you've read that.
Here, Sadia is in the line of getting promotion, where Shumi hides some major information from
Yeah.
Sadia from preventing her on the promotion ladder or career ladder. That
No, David, no, here we have to now. You are with a mediator. So mediator has said, Sadia, could you please share more about the new ideas and innovations you brought to the table? It might help Shumi understand the value and potential benefits of your contributions. So you have to
okay.
put that. Shumi, I'm talking to Shumi. Shumi, I understand that it can be challenging when someone introduces new ideas, especially if it feels like a threat. However, it's crucial to foster collaboration and share information within the team. Can you express your concerns or reservations about Sadia's idea? So that's why I'm saying you have to pick up actual things, because if you want to take this forward, it is not hypotheticals, because everyone plays with hypotheticals and they can't go forward. Go actually, yes, this is now actual issue between two people. So that's why I'm saying always it's not a game. It's actually someone's, you're sitting with someone, you've got $500 an hour mediator in front of you. Use the person in the same way. Don't play around with it, because it has a lot of potential. And we don't reach that potential because we stop because we can't take it further, because we haven't thought about it further. Pick up actual situations. I've given you an idea how to go about it. Play it separately. No, I'm saying again, play it, but use it separately. Then we'll compare notes next time we meet. Everyone can do that. Everyone does that exercise. Don't think of it. Don't underestimate it. That's all I keep saying. People underestimate it and then use it in that manner, and they don't get the output, and they think, oh, it's only capable of doing this. It's only capable of doing as much as you are wanting it to do. Open your mind to, yes, this is a $500 an hour mediator you're sitting with, and work with it that way. Now, Sakib wants to drop out. Martin.
Okay.
Thank you, Sakib, for joining us. You can say bye to us if you want.
Any feedback for us? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I was like literally enjoying your conversation on that part, and got some insights in that. But really, like some of the things which as a product manager, like everyone has a concern about using the AI. But if you just go and see the history of AI when it was at the experimenting level, so you will see it was at 1950s. People were talking about AI in 1950s, but right now all the things are like people had a fear of getting involved to take the technology in mind. But if I give an example of Janas, we started it to 2019. At that time we haven't thought of like would be going to see such technology and be using it. So taking something as a technology and trying to benefit it, it's one point. And before knowing it, before knowing the leaks, the news, like the jobs went down, and you haven't tried it by yourself, and then just making a point like whether people will lose job or not. Because there can be a two perspective where a generalist would find more effective to save his time, and when a generalist will find that I would be replaced, maybe he was not natural at his work. So we could bring out different perceptions, and as now we just started the exercise which you are performing, the application as Martin is demoing it and constructing it. So or maybe in further sessions, in further mediation sessions, we could try to do more structured conversation with the help of ChatGPT, and try to do more conversation and try to write it down more, and then move ahead, like to have a 50-50 ratio of what the humans can do, and then go to the technology side of the AI side and take the perception in that part. So I hope we will see that in next sessions.
And the
So
main thing is, Sakib,
that's a good wish. I know that I have the same wish. So thank you.
the main thing, Sakib, is that anything that came up, I'm sure we are sitting today after seeing a lot of technology in relation to production itself. But when machines came up at the first time, there must have been resistance. At that time, jobs will go away. Everyone will always keep talking about it every stage.
Yeah.
So this is something that will evolve. Something will come out of it, which will definitely look. At the end of the day, my concern is something available today for people to resolve things within themselves. That's what what I have to put out. I am not today concerned about whether mediators have work or not. If mediators are not performing their work and ChatGPT can do a better job, let it do it. Whoever can do a better job, let them do it. We are not here to protect people only because they are human beings. If those human beings are required for something else they can do better, let them do that. If this is doing it better, let it do that. So that's a secondary thing, that if they can work, people will get work or they will lose work. That's not really my concern.
Yeah, I also support that part. Like me, what I heard from the conversation is like in the starting where we have a frustration where we were saying about like how we will use the or we will be dependent or people will be like or the mediations will be replaced by the AI things. But certainly you also talk about the wisdom and the human factor which we cannot calculate. If you see like right now we spend 2 hours and if there is a technology where what we have conversation so far if it's been captured in something and then we thought of a technology of AI which gave us a sentimental analysis of that. So that could be a part we could say that we can bring out some perception in that case. So it's like that we it's like something, it's not like the human involvement will not be there. It's now like you need to be more actively you need to be involved in it, and you need to accept in a way that it will benefit it you, and it will not like it's a replacement on that sector. So
Yeah. And I think also, Saki, what we are trying to do is how can we evolve as human beings itself?
right.
And from our collective understanding or collective knowledge, if we ourselves can grow and if something can help us grow, because is able to pick up so much more information about, like you just said, about what our interaction that we had today, the transcript is available on YouTube because it is
Right.
all going out there. So
Right.
whether that transcript is actually picked up by ChatGPT itself or whatever else you create, anything, it picks it up and goes through human interaction, how human interaction takes place. Similarly, there are millions and billions of conversations happening all the time, but it's not recorded. That's the only issue, they
Right.
don't
Right.
get recorded. So can
And
you have a situation that all those can be recorded and can be used to, even as people, how we interact with each other, how maybe I in some way cut off someone while talking. Martin doesn't like that, but I do that. A
and
lot of
and
people
it's
don't like it.
and it's not like compulsory, like it's not about just stick to mediation, but if you
Yeah.
see now if the designations are changing, for example, if you see that people are just having been product managers, now if you will heard in some time that they are AI product managers.
Yeah.
So it's not like the people who are every in the field as a product manager, if someone came, so it's something where you need to stand also whether my product needs this AI or not. That's also you need to figure it out. It's not just the trend is coming and you need to integrate at that part, but you need to identify where it will help or not, or I'm just going with the trend, or just to give
Absolutely.
a tagline that my product supports the AI.
Absolutely.
So that's the differentiation and then and how you need to adapt the technology in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's adding value, it should add value. If it's just something that I have to use, it's like, I'll tell you what, we have this concept of organic food. And suddenly everyone wanted to be organic, but was it actually organic or not? No one knew if it was, but the term has to be used everywhere. But my purpose, I'll tell you, Saki, my purpose is that there is a whole concept of making mediators, which is happening in the world. And that's where people are making money, training programs, certifications,
Right.
accreditations. I'm going on the other side, and I've alienated people because of that also. I'm going on the other side, that on the human level, there are people in this world who are benefiting people by helping them resolve disputes. Do not come under, they don't even use the word mediator, maybe they don't even use the term mediation, but human interaction is happening all the time. Where someone like Sakib's friend, in your friend group, you have someone who comes out and helps you people when there is a issue between two of your friends. Maybe you do it, maybe someone else does it. It's all happening all the time. So it's not that it is alien, that process, but what is happening is that on the other end, this rocket science is trying to be created. Oh, we are going to make you a mediator, and suddenly in 40 hours you will transform, and suddenly you will be something else. So I'm going against that, and I'm saying, instead of that, you have some, we call it AI. We have a space where all that is already available, all that, and that is the best in terms of content, can be accessed, which of course Martin on one end is putting in what Ken Cloak has put in. All the best is available. So why not use that instead? And human beings can be used where the actual human touch is required. That humanistic approach, that connection, which I've spoken about, heart, soul,
Actually,
spirituality, and all those aspects which come in.
Actually, the reason behind shifting is like people are afraid to go for the change, and they don't have that kind of patience. Like when you see, like if someone got sick, so we try to change the doctor. Sometimes we don't change the doctor, but when we see the in the mediation part, when advocacy came, even the mediation is not helping around for like 5 years, and to realize that we need to change the pattern, we need to change the mediation how we do. People just stick to that. So it's about also that to determine like how we should change, or where need to change and where need to adapt. And this is something very much been taught in the IT process, like what we also focus on adaptive change. And when we try to see the change, so it's not like it will come immediate, it will be when you see the first time, it will see you with as a new thing. So it's really needs to give you time for that, so that you accept that change, and then you try to learn on that perspective organically, as you said.
And in this case, the thing here is that it's not about really about change. It is about actually being able to have someone to go to, which is what I was started off saying, that communities had people. So here I'm trying to put across that the person is available. Now, wisdom
Right.
part of it, what is wisdom? What is intelligence? We'll have a discussion somewhere, right? But there is something available to you to access, which is whether it works or not, and how, whether if it's not working properly, what are the reasons, what else do we need to put in there? Would we have to create a separate system, which Martin is talking about, separately putting in the content which is not available, freely available, from which ChatGPT can learn? So all that is going to happen.
So like, I want to add another thing there. So like, Saqib talked about adaptive change and the work that we're doing in there. And what we find is that, and there are other people talking about the same thing about in the responsibility space. But when a mediator in the marketplace, not a formal mediator, but somebody who's part of a group, what they're generally doing is following that process where they listen to people and they have the wisdom and they reflect and they reframe. It goes through those sort of processes, and they cause reflection, and but it's the individuals that change, right? It's the individuals that switch. It's the internal thing that happens to the person in conflict, and so by enabling the conversation to change about how we have conversations, which was what Saqib was talking about in terms of, like, when can we learn about more as individuals and as mediators, as friends, to be able to help people be more introspective and change from within. And it's that shift inside that really does end up making the difference and making us be able to move forward. So, like, yeah, we try to do that in a collective way in conversations, but it's just as important to do it there as it is in the marketplace or with a group of friends or with a individually by yourself when you're alone, right?
But only thing what has happened, Martin, is that Rekha hasn't come in. Rekha is there. What happens is I only see the people whose videos are on. But Rekha, you want to come in? You want to say hi? Is there something that you want to?
Hi everyone, my son is slept, so my lights are off and I'm listening to each and every word of yours. So sorry for being off camera. So
Sure. But is there any
I
comment?
I do use ChatGPT for content. I just work out through the hook line, and I post on LinkedIn. So I was also going through the discussion part of your AI here, and it was of use to me, and I'm enjoying the conversation. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So anything that you wanted to add, any point of time, just raise your hand and you can definitely
Sure.
come in.
Thank you.
Sake wanted to leave. Sake, you want to leave, or if now you decided not to leave? You like the you like the
No, no,
conversation?
actually, I need to have something. So I'll leave. And thanks all for that.
Thank you. This is not the end. This is just a
Yeah,
this is
it's
the
just a
starting point.
beginning.
Yeah,
Right,
this is the
right, right.
beginning. We take it forward as we go along.
What do we want to wrap? How do we want to sort of wrap up this?
Before wrapping up, I just want to see this. There's Natalie there. She made a comment. I just thought I'll ask her if she wants to come in. So just made a nice comment. So one sec. Just give me 1 second. Let's put that on. Look, when you say technical part.
Sadia's got her hand up as well.
Yes, Sadia.
Yes, I just remember about my past career life when I was a family lawyer and I have to deal with mediations like custody of child and sometimes in dealing with giving dower monies to both parties in an amicable way. And then I shifted my career in civil arena where I have to mediate the dealings between bank and the borrower. So then, in my last organization, I was in an admiralty law chamber when I have to deal with mediation between two ship owners. That was the difficult part I have ever handled because one ship owner is calling that I'm a giant ship, I'm standing, and you don't and you can't see me, and you just push me, and see how much damage you occurred. Then another ship owner said that you are a giant ship, I'm also a giant ship, I'm coming with pushing my horns, and you can't hear me. See how I am being damaged. So to deal with these two types of ship,
so you have to tell us how AI is going to fit in. Today is the AI mediation circle. We'll talk about admiralty mediation circle separately. How can AI help you? AI can help you in some way, I'm sure. But okay, then when
thinking about this, yes, AI can help us by this workplace conflict or little
everything. Don't say no, don't limit it. Say it can help us in everything. But one thing that Natalie said, give me that comment. Thank you, Vikram, to raise the access to everyone of conflict management, universality without losing humanity for a peaceful world, hopefully. So that's what we have to do. But humanity, yes, what is humanity, what is human touch, all that also we'll discuss, and where does artificial intelligence come in, or how does that input output work? So wrapping up is what Martin, what did you felt that how do we wrap it up? So normally our wrapping up happens by asking everyone to give their closing remarks. So we'll ask Mandy to give her closing remarks. She will wrap up in a certain way. Yes, Mandy.
I will say good night with a question. Is it a matter of intelligence, the reason people have conflicts and problems?
Is it a matter of
intelligence? Is it the intelligence, the difficulty and the problem? Is it
a matter of stupidity? Say stupidity.
Intelligent people don't have problems and stupid have?
It is a matter of that situation. Are you being stupid, an intelligent person being stupid in a certain situation, or being very intelligent? That's why they happen.
We have to make a circle about stupid. A stupid circle. I believe all people should be part of.
Look, Martin is losing his patience on these conversations. He's not used to this. But we will do that later. So okay, so
I'm not losing my patience. I'm fine.
He's not used to sessions going like this.
Is it okay if Mandy, I think emotional intelligence is what gets us in trouble. We don't have enough of that practice.
Yes, that's
so
true.
We don't self-regulate. So you're not prepared to get feedback. You're not prepared to argue with someone because you're not prepared to listen.
Yeah. We are prepared to have right or wrong.
No, but now we have to
prepared to be stupid or intelligent.
No, what we have to discuss is that she said emotional intelligence. Now, what is emotional intelligence? Is it just a matter of certain for the other person, is it because you get a certain output from someone? So is that output available to be given by an artificial intelligence to be able to satisfy you, which was Martin was saying, that some people, there was some kind of a research or whatever done, that someone felt that an artificial intelligence gave them better responses, and the person felt that there was more empathy from artificial intelligence rather than an actual person. So all that is happening. So it's a matter of you being satisfied that, yes, Tina feels empathy for me, something like that. Okay. So by what? By the way she conducted herself, what words she used. If those words are available to you from some artificial intelligence, are you going to feel the same? Where does human touch come in? When do we connect on a human level? What is happening? So there are lots more we will discuss. I mean, as we go along, we'll get people in to get those inputs. So we'll do that. But Mohammed wants to say something. Yes, Mohammed, please.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you very much, because thank you very much, Martin, and all the interventions. And then I think just as you said, you are human, and then we have to be adaptable to the new situations, and then we have to change, and then you have to make all the effort to change and to go to this new reality to adapt these tools in our jobs, in our professions. And it's better to take that change, and then as I said, and then I quote, it's better to have to change with human with AI rather than human without I in the future.
Yes.
But next time, please, everyone prepared. Next time when we have a session, we'll have now they're going to be assemblies of his. Yeah.
And then I would like to see whether it will be possible to. I would like to come back to the presentation of Martin, and can we have to get to? Can I have a copy, or can get into it to revisit it once again?
For sure. Just send. Do you have my email?
No.
You can connect. Why don't you connect with him on LinkedIn? You connect with him on
Connect
LinkedIn.
with me on LinkedIn.
That's easy. Connect there,
okay.
and you can send him a
because
message.
because I have to be inspired from it, because I'm working on the subject, for my things, and then I really appreciate it if I can review it again.
But after this, you will only get any material after the next time, if you are going to come up with what is intelligence, what is human touch, what are we, because the thing is that we have to get into that part. What is emotional intelligence? Where does it fit in? All that. We'll have a discussion on all that. So you have to get all that next time. We go to the basics. Today we just started off at this aspect because we're launching it, but we're going to go down to the basics, and then from the conflict resolution point of view, from the mediator perspective, where do you think machine, again, I don't like to say machine, but this artificial intelligence can bring in all that?
Sorry, because forgive me, I have a lot of pedagogical work to do.
Yeah.
Okay,
so basically you want to take up anything. No one wants to take up anything. They want to come in, have a conversation, give me the written material. Bye, I'm going. Martin, don't let people do that.
I know.
I look forward to connecting with you, and I look forward to the discussion and sharing that content with you.
But before that, Mohammed,
thank you very much,
on the 12th, we have a meeting of the Israel-Palestine Mediation Circle.
12 of
this month, 12th on Tuesday.
Next month, next week.
Next week at same time, 8:30 p.m.
Next week, okay. No, okay.
Yeah, we're trying to bring in all the perspectives.
Thank you very much. I have to leave you.
Yeah, okay. Bye.
For me.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay.
So finally,
it was very excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Sadia, any wrapping up question? Any wrapping up comment you want to make? So nothing? Anything? Just a clap?
Thank you.
That's
okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Rekha, anything? Any last closing remarks or anything, Rekha?
Just wanted to know what is the India time of joining here next week?
Next week, the Israel-Palestine Circle, the same time, 8:30. 8:30 India time.
Okay,
but
thank you.
What you will find is you have to go to LinkedIn, you find my post, and there is a Israel-Palestine Mediation Circle, that form. Just fill up that form also, so then I'll send you the details also otherwise. But anyway, you can come in, same Zoom link, just come in next Tuesday. Or coming
in. Thank you. Yeah, wanted to say thank you to Martin for sending in the Zoom link, and I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation and looking forward for the same next week. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Thanks. Bye. So now we have to get Tina. Tina was talking about our autopilot. Tina, your comment, your
He's
autopilot.
recording everything.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It surprised me that I'm getting some pushback and concerns about having a note taker, but they aren't. I use it because post-COVID, I'm still dealing with some challenges health-wise, so it helps. I use it for a
That's
purpose.
cool. It's really good that you're using it. Really
Yes,
cool.
I do. Very, very cool. Yeah. I loved your presentation today. Sorry I wasn't on camera, but I'm dealing with some loss of my little fur baby, and I've been upset, and I didn't want to, I don't know. I've been crying back and forth. So, but I so enjoyed today's session, Vikram. I thank you very much for providing us with opportunity to meet Martin. So I sent you a note in LinkedIn, but I look forward to learning more about your application and the work you're doing. And I'm trying to take on AI. I'm trying to build a website, neurodivergent website, a friendly website that I think we can do little things. And I'm just fascinated with AI and the future, the possibility is limitless. Yeah.
It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So appreciate the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us, Tina. And now, yes, now Martin is yours. This is your closing remarks.
This is my closing then. So what I wanted to know really was, what are the next steps? Like, are we having another meeting?
Yeah. So I'll schedule that, because I don't know whether you want to do this year, because 12th we have something happening. This is Israel Palestine, but I have no issue, because we could always do it whenever. This 20th I'm trying to get a lot of people in. This is the human solidarity day. So let's get people who are part of the World Mediation Circle to come in. My only issue has always been that my invites go out very late, because there is
So I think I am very excited about the possibility of AI, right? I'm very excited about being able to create really useful environments where people can get huge value from them. But I don't dismiss the great value that I get personally from just interacting with ChatGPT. The focus my interest really, and I don't want to limit this group to my interest, so this is just my interest, is around collective conversations, where people are it's not a serial one person talk at a time, but different people get their input, and then we use that input to create more understanding and drive deeper conversations. And they're sort of additive, and that's what I'd love to share with everybody, and that's partly the tool, partly just my own sort of approach to life, and the philosophy that I have around making sure that everybody's got a contribution, and we're all sort of bringing it together to add value together and create that collective voice. And I see that's the way of building momentum and really making things develop and change. So I'm hoping that this group, that's sort of the momentum that we can get with this group, Vikram. Does that align with what you're thinking, or is that just not really there?
No, look, I align with every kind of thinking. So I'm open to all kinds of things to be done together. So but we have to do it whenever I do something, I always consider that person sitting in a village in India. How can that person benefit from the work I'm doing, or in general for what a mediator brings in? And when I look at that person and I say, does that person have access to the right person to help them? So in terms of in their community, to create that environment and identify the right people and bring them out, that's happening, that grassroots movement. But it's going to take its time to reach places. So what can I bring out for them to access today? Because look, we could talk about generality in relation to conflict resolution, but there is one person, just look at it from that person's perspective who's going through something today. It's consuming that person's life, that person's mind, and what option do they have? They dispute, call a lawyer. Lawyer takes them through a process which in this country you can see what the situation is. 20 years, 20 years, maybe more. So how can we stop that and give them access to something which can actually look, wisdom now is another thing that we'll discuss as we go along, but some access to something which can at least take them forward in some way. So refining the thing we'll keep doing, but even the idea of the circle and purpose of the circle will also be to educate. So what do we already have? Not that this is going to be created. No, what do you have today? Use it. What comes up later, use that. As we go along, use what we can develop.
But like part of the I was hoping that part of the contribution of this group is to help drive that change. So, for instance, you've just presented a problem, which is access to AI, right? And you're presenting, okay, this person's got access, and therefore we can use that tool. But we can also develop tools that then enhance that access.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So we can do that as well, right? That's what I just want to empower the group that we're not just dealing with what people are giving us, but we're actually able to provide something to people because we have that capability and we have that vision, and we can include. We can broaden the scope of what's currently available to people.
Absolutely. So make it easier for people to access, and maybe make it more relevant. Maybe whatever way. Let's see as we go around using it, what issues come up.
Just because what we have today isn't that doesn't mean that it can't be.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you very much for organizing this. I appreciate it. And having the opportunity of this platform, it's great.
So the only thing is that there was Jeffrey. He said I don't think he joined the Zoom session. He's saying I joined the session. I didn't see Jeffrey join in, but I think he joined the LinkedIn session and maybe he went there. So anyway, I'm just saying, Jeffrey, thank you for joining that session. And please, there is. We'll send out the link to that form. Whoever wants to be part of the circle can obviously fill that form, and let's get in people. We started the process. Let's just go forward. There is nothing to fear. It is to help, and whatever way it can help. So thank you very much, Martin.
Okay, thank you
very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mandy.
Thank you, Mandy.
And Sadia said, where's Sadia? Bye, Sadia. Bye, Tina.
Thank you. I would like to be part of this circle.
Yes.
Thank you, dear Martin. It was very interesting, this connection.
Thank you for your input. It was great to have you here.
Thank you.
And Sadia and Tina, thank you.
Tina was saying something. Tina,
yes.
you were saying something?
I'm interested in early dispute resolution and AI. The earlier we can intervene, the better. Because I just came across bliss divorce, and that allows people to be able to see what the outlook is for the divorce, what that split's going to look like. And you can do a lot without attorneys. So that's self-determination. And so is this opportunity you're proposing in that mediators, we also too, we don't think about self-determination in the work we do. So I'm wondering if that's something you've thought about in terms of having a tool that we can access as mediators, like self-reporting. We all want to know what we can do to be better and be better mediators.
How you can be better mediators
Mm-hmm.
is one, that whole reflective practice aspect of it. So that reflective practice circle that we developed, also by sharing your own experiences, not just in that circle, but if you do it in a document or in some way that Martin will create some place where you can just everyone can keep inputting their experiences. We'll have a collective resource available. Because like I said, that is what might be missing today, because artificial intelligence can only pick up from what data it has, and data of actual mediations is not available, or what transpired in that
Yeah.
mediation, what really happened. I am saying today a summary, maybe tomorrow can be recorded. Are people willing to record it? Because if you want to help people in this world, if this helps in some way, why not? So we'll go through that, we'll do that, but let's create something where at least people can start inputting their experiences, which in whatever way it helps can only help. I mean, so let's do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a training tool.
Yeah, exactly. In training, word forget, but just I've never used that word in relation to mediators and peacemakers. Yes, for participants, if you've gone through my list of what I have in the mediation circle, for participants, yes, it is a training tool, but for everyone else, it's skill development. I'm just look, it's just a matter of terminology.
It's a bank of once we start using this application, however, those scenarios could be put in there and we could resource.
Exactly.
I mean, hopefully it's put in as part of a real dispute resolution, that people are using the tool to dispute, to resolve their disputes, and then we build up that history, and now we can leverage that history as part of, suggestions going forward, and
exactly.
and maybe it could become a self-deterministic tool that will say, like, give me some advice. I'm in this situation. What should I do?
It actually does that. I mean, look, ChatGPT is already doing it, but when we have so many more mediations happening, that this was the issue, this was how they resolved it. So we have so many more options being generated in terms of solutions to that. So
Totally, that's what I was meaning.
yeah. So let's put it out. Well, let's see how people open out to that. So that's how it's going to work. So yes, thank you very much.
I look forward to hearing from you on next steps, and thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Yep. Bye.
Okay.
See you.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
But actually, we should have